Welcome everyone to the first devlog for The Great Rebellion, the new game by Cult Games and sequel to Heimatdefender. In these devlogs, I want to give you some insight into how the game works and the progress we are making in development. Please keep in mind that this version of the game is still work in progress, so there are obviously still unfinished elements, placeholder graphics, etc. The Great Rebellion takes place in a dystopian future in which one all-powerful globalist mega-corporation rules Europe. They turned it into a collection of economic zones and eradicated any mention of the countries they used to be from all media with the help of AI. You play the role of Human 1028, a young white male who always had a rebellious streak. One day you have enough and remove a chip from your brain which is supposed to make your life more convenient by interfacing with all the electronics around you, but actually subtly influences and nudges your thoughts. A whole new world opens up to you and you join the Great Rebellion. The Great Rebellion is taking the basic platforming of its predecessor Heimatdefender, puts a lot more focus on action and shooting, lets you find lots of weapons and upgrades, and turns the whole thing into a roguelike, or to be more precise, into a roguelite. For those who don't know those terms, a quick explanation. Roguelikes are games that have at least the following features. Levels are randomly generated and different every time you play. Also, there is permadeath, meaning if you die once, you stay dead. You lose all your weapons, etc. and have to start all over again with a newly generated game world. This sounds very brutal, and indeed roguelikes are not exactly a genre of casual games, but for those who are a bit intimidated by this game mechanic, we will have an easy mode which will only make you replay the last level you died in. However, you won't see the full ending in this mode. Usually there is also a focus on finding random weapons, items and leveling up your character in some way. The Great Rebellion, however, is a roguelite as opposed to a roguelike, which means some of your progress remains even after you die, and next time you start off equipped a bit better. In the case of the Great Rebellion, you will be able to upgrade your character and the game world in a permanent way that remains even after you die. All this persistent progress is centered around the hub level you return to after each mission, the Waldgang. The Waldgang is a parallel dimension used as a hideout by the resistance against the corporation. It is a place filled with mythical beings and a safe haven for all that connects to European heritage. The resistance uses it as a secure base of operations and to regain strength, but has to leave it through portals for going on missions. As regenerative as a stay in the Waldgang is, no real change can be achieved from only holding up here after all. In the Waldgang, the player can buy permanent upgrades, get goodies from special iconic characters that can be unlocked in the missions, and talk to fellow Resistance members for some info and lore about the game world. This is how the upgrades work. There are two currencies you can collect in the game: regular money and negative social credit. You can buy weapons and items in the levels with your money, we'll get to that in our next devlog. But in the Waldgang, your credit is determined by how much the system hates you. You lose social credit points for clearing out rooms filled with enemies, finding special items and defeating bosses. And the lower your social credit score, the better upgrades you can buy in the Waldgang's black market. Those upgrades all improve the stats and abilities of your character. Upgrades can increase your maximum health, let you wear more armor, let you find better weapons in the levels, improve your dash ability, let you see more things on your minimap, allow you to glide in mid-air, and many more. All of these upgrades have multiple levels. You can, however, initially not buy all black market upgrades. Most have to be unlocked during play. The system ensures that even if you have to start all over if you die, you will nonetheless get to lower your social credit and get some progress for your character. We recently finished putting in 12 upgrades in the game, which is a good amount for customizing your character, and depending on how fast development goes, we might add some more. That's it for our first devlog. There is still a lot more to talk about in future videos. Next time we will focus on weapons, items and companions you can find in the game. In closing, I would ask you to spread the word about Cult Games and the Great Rebellion if you want to support the development of dissident games and help us to make even bigger and more awesome games in the future. We do not only want to make a single game, but we see it as our mission to build up a functional indie game company that can sustain itself financially and foster a movement for the creation of games that do not adhere to mainstream ideologies. We want to be a based alternative to all the woke and paused influences that have inserted themselves in the industry over the last years. Last but not least, please like and subscribe to keep updated on the game's development and follow us on our Telegram. Until next time!